What up, family? CTR Media Network. Yeah. Best in the biz. Yeah. Join the team. CTR is who we are. The media network, that's the best by far. Whether you listen at your home, at your job, in your car, come get the information that's needed above par. Never lasting, motivational podcasting, giving you the answers to the questions that you're asking. Serious talks and topics, how to come up and profit, how to better yourself. Your health is here, we got it. Reaching 350 million, they tuning in. We in 50 different countries, we all can. And like-minded, find your purpose and your assignment. Come get your fix, your feel, your mental alignment. Get active and speak to the masses. Build your influence all levels and all classes. Now you know you can monetize and grow. CTR Media Network, start the show.
Hello, everybody. I am Dr. Tina J. Ramsay, the host of the Tina Ramsay Show and podcast, powered by CTR Media Network. And today we have an amazing guest for you. When you think of the words creative, passionate, and supportive, these are the words that describe today's guest. She is a registered psychotherapist. She is the founder of Creating Meaningful Consulting Services. She is also a two-time author. And one of the books is very interesting because she co-authored it, get this, with her husband. And her second book is just helping you get rid of those negative thoughts. She is also a mental health advocate. She also educates, and she is on a mission to eradicate the stigma that is surrounded around mental illness. This is a much needed topic of discussion, and I am so happy that she decided to come here today with you. Who is this amazing woman? Her name is Samantha Campbell. Hello, Samantha. Welcome to the show.
Hi, it's a pleasure to be here.
I'm happy that you are here too, because this conversation is near and dear to my heart because of my personal struggle with depression and anxiety over the years. And so growing up in a time where no one really spoke about it, and now seeing so many people like yourself speaking about it, it really gives my heart, it really does my heart well. And I'm glad that you're here. But I know that you're a psychotherapist, but I just want to ask you this, and this is probably, you could probably say this is going to go this going left. You're a psychotherapist. You're a very busy woman. So what does a psychotherapist like to do to enjoy us in their spare time? Do you have any spare time?
Good question. And I have to make my spare time. I have to make it happen, or else it's just not going to happen. So in my spare time, I like to sing, and I like to draw, and I like to, believe it or not, color. Oh. Yeah, they have those self-help adult coloring books.
Yes.
I like to do that. It just clears my mind, and it just sets me in a different mindset.
Well, Samantha, you and I are one and the same, because I have a plethora of different types of self-help coloring books. I find that coloring is very it's very relaxing, and you don't have to always color in the lines. It's very freeing. It's very, very freeing. And so you would think it wouldn't be when you're an adult, but I find it very, very relaxing. So I understand 1000% what you're speaking about, and when I make time to do it. So it's good to know that you, as a psychotherapist, being honest, you have to make time in order for you to have that spare time. But also the realness of you, what you like to do in your spare time. And I would love to see you sing one day, honey.
Yes.
Yes, sing, draw, and color. That sounds like a good spare time to have some fun, to decompress from your day. So what has been your experience becoming a psychotherapist? Was it something that you always wanted to do growing up, or was it something that you developed later on as you became an adult?
I would say it's something that developed later on. Um, I've always been in the field of just volunteering and trying to care for people. And so before I did my undergrad in child and youth care, just because I love working with children and youth. And
Mhm.
then afterwards, just volunteering, I was doing my internship and doing being a program lead with some girls within a at-risk neighborhood, and it was just a creative arts program. And I was just there having fun with them, but the issues that they were coming with was just so great, and I wanted to help them more. Like whatever I was giving them, the support that I was giving them was okay, but
Mhm.
I felt that they needed more. So I'm a person that loves to pray, and I like to like dig deep into the word. So I'm like, Lord, I realize that these young girls, they need me. It's not just school issues but family issues. So I'm like, direct me to a program that I can study to help out these young ladies. So I got inspired to become a psychotherapist. So I did my master's in counseling psychology, and
Mhm.
from there, I have to say the journey was not easy, because that's when I found out that that's when I had my mental breakdown at the end of school, where it's like it was just one more month for me to go for me to graduate, and there it went. I went crashing in, not knowing what it was, and it left me out. I was supposed to graduate in, say, for example, March,
Mhm.
and I didn't graduate until October of that year. So I was off until that whole time just because of issues with mental illness. And but I kept on going, and I became a psychotherapist. I had to go through the journey of qualifying psychotherapist to become a fully licensed registered psychotherapist. So, with much prayer and support from family members and friends, here I am now as psychotherapist. But the journey was not easy, but the benefit of it in the end result was great. So
I
that's great.
Yeah, I appreciate the fact that you shared your true journey, because many times our truth sometimes is not always pretty. And that's with everybody's life. That's just not with yours. That's with mine as well. And so showing your vulnerability, I appreciate you sharing that with the audience, because you're not just a psychotherapist, you're a person who, as a real person who experienced a breakdown in the fact of all the different things that was coming on you all at one time. And
Mhm.
you also mentioned that you didn't understand what it was. If you could go back to identify different things, what was going on with you at that time, what were some things that was different about you during that time that wasn't, you know, you prior to you going through all of these stressful situations?
Well, for one, I would withdraw myself. So that withdrawal piece, and isolation, not wanting to talk to certain people. I was just like family members or friends will text me and they want to hear back from me, or um, just having my mind race, like just feeling like I'm just locked in my head, not knowing where to go. Um, just feeling super irritable, restless, to the point where I was just shaking and dropping everything. It seemed like I had seizure, but it wasn't seizure.
Mhm.
That's why it was like, okay, what do you have? What is going on? But that's what mental illness is all about. It's not only the physical aspect about it, but it's the internal, what's going on in the mind and the outside appearance as well. So that is why you can't really put a face on mental illness, right? So
Mhm.
that's pretty much how I knew that something was wrong.
You know, I have found that everybody's uh, experience with mental illness or breakdown, whatever the correct terminology. Some people don't like the terminology breakdown. Some people prefer uh, different terminologies. So in this interview, we're not trying to trigger or offend anyone. This is just us sharing our true experience with what we experience. We cannot speak on someone else's situation, but how we felt and how we can articulate how we felt. And it's not meant to trigger or offend anyone. It's just our truth. So I appreciate that you were so transparent. And you're right. Um, it does not have a face. And when you're going through your your situation and it's new, you don't really know, you don't have anything to gauge or pull from that you can say, okay, this is going on. I know for me, I did experience some of the symptoms that you just explained. I did go through withdrawal. I'm normally a happy, bubbly person by nature. I was more sad, reserved, and I was irritable. It took very little to trigger me, make me upset. And normally I try my best to be more patient and be more understanding. But during that time, nope. Okay. And I noticed that my eating habits change, and they could change from day to day or from week to week. Like sometime I would want to eat everything that I saw. It wasn't good for me. Usually sweets and something salty and sweet, right?
Mhm.
And then I noticed with myself, I get to some periods where I didn't even have an appetite at all. I have to remind myself, okay, did you eat today? You need to go in here and eat. And then I also recall when I had dealt with mine, um, I had moments of insomnia. I'm talking about excessive. I'm talking about
Mhm.
up 24 hours. The longest stretch that I could not sleep was like 48 hours, 2 days straight, just up, could not sleep. And then the total opposite, I was asleep all the time.
Mhm.
So for me, it was just these ups and downs, being from very mild to moderate to very manic and very extreme. And it could vary based upon whatever it is I was going through at the time, because
Mhm.
I didn't understand how to address it. So this conversation is very near and dear to my heart, because I don't want anyone to not go seek help. I know growing up in the South, you just going to therapy is not a conversation. You like, no, you're crazy.
Mhm.
What you having a nervous breakdown? What is going on with you? You don't need no therapy. You just need to pray. I'm
Yeah.
I'm a Christian, but I learned that certain things you can't pray away. For you, Samantha, did you find that to be true?
Yes, it's true because um you have, like, some people call it spiritually lazy, or you become like, your mind is so clouded that you can't even pick up your Bible or pray. And those God understands that, because, and that is why I wrote my second book, because he himself went through certain journey of that, right? So
Mhm.
it's like, why not focus on your mind first, and then after doing that, then your whole physical and everything, you'll be able to be more effective to pray, be more effective to do whatever it is that you want to do, right? So it's not, I agree with you, it's not everything you can pray away, because you're not going to be in that mind frame to get yourself up to pray anyways.
I 100% agree with you. And for a long time before, uh, actually, my husband was the first one. He realized that it was something that was off with me, that was not me. And he started doing research, and he was like, I think you need to go see a therapist. And I was like, oh, I got offended. I mean, I really did. Oh, I was like, excuse you. But anyway, I am so grateful to him and also to God for him nudging me. And literally, he drove me to a local therapist that he did the research on, that our insurance paid for at the time. And he said, and parked the car and said, we're not going anywhere until you go in. And I was like, I know you joking. Like, for real. Like, I'm not going in there. So I did. The first meeting wasn't ideal because I was a little combative, I must admit, because I was resistant.
Hmm.
But the second meeting that I went to was such a breakthrough. It was one of the best therapeutic freeing experiences, having someone that is non-biased, non-judgmental, that is listening to you, and you know that your information is going to remain confidential, and they're there for you.
Yeah.
They're there for you, not family, friends, whatever. They're there exclusively for you, to help you unbag all of whatever it is you're going through, and help you understand the why of why you respond this way, and how give you tools on how to be able to go and adjust. And so it's very valuable. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit more about this topic, because I think this is something that is much needed. And the fact that they're seeing that we're being so honest and transparent, in hopes of all of you that's watching and listening in will have your breakthrough. Okay. This is for you. So, what we're going to do, we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back in a moment. The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is a magazine that embraces and celebrates the entire homeschooling experience. Our magazine is different from all the rest because we provide beneficial information and assistance in homeschooling, business, wellness, mental health, resources, and life. We encourage you to pick up a copy of our magazine today on Amazon.com by simply searching the Homeschooling Interactive Magazine. The Homeschooling Interactive Magazine is all about impacting the world through home-based learning, helping to de-stress the homeschooling experience. Get your copy from Amazon today.
Hi, my name is Samantha Campbell, and I am the founder of Creating Meaningful Counselling Services. I am also a registered psychotherapist, and I specialize in children, youth, and young adults. I like creativity, and that's what I incorporate in my sessions. I like to have clients feel transformation and some form of growth and development.
Anybody that knows Tina, she's all about visibility, she's all about connection, and she's all about helping people create a source of income through monetization. And so again, Tina is just really good at what she does. If you've not connected with Tina, if you've seen her show or heard her podcast and you're thinking about connecting with her, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. As a result of my connections with Tina, she has helped me with recruitment of speakers for my upcoming event. She's also helped me to recruit several authors for a few of the book projects that I have had the opportunity to produce in this past year. And in all, Tina's just a really great person, that she's genuine in helping entrepreneurs in reaching their goals. So again, if you have not connected with Tina, be sure that you do. The Tina Ramsay Show is definitely a great venue for you to connect with other entrepreneurs, to connect with other individuals that are going to be interested in your service or your project. This is Tiffany Bell. Again, you are watching and listening to the Tina Ramsay Show, and I look forward to being able to connect with you.
And just like that, we are back, you guys. And I am so excited and happy that we're having this much needed topic. Today, we have in the building, we have the amazing Samantha Campbell, and she is actually sharing her journey, her story as a psychotherapist, and the reason why she does what she do. And I think it's very her story and her testimony is riveting in the fact that she's not only a psychotherapist, but she also experienced some of the same experiences that we experience when we experience panic, anxiety, when you're just not feeling right, battling with mental illness. She is an advocate that not only knows the information, but she also have walked in our shoes. So I feel that she has a different approach to her type of therapy because of the realness of the essence of her life story. So let's go ahead and bring her back to the show. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Okay, Samantha, let's go ahead and get right into it. Like I said just now, I feel that your story is is unique in the fact that you have your own story, even in the midst of you're getting all of the becoming a registered psychotherapist, getting the education, and then you had this period of from March to October, which is about 7 months, where you had your own experience. So, do you feel that by you experiencing what we would call mental illness makes you more able to assist individuals and be more sympathetic and empathetic towards individuals because of your experience with it yourself? And how do you use your experiences in your psychotherapy?
I definitely feel like I'm able to relate to my clients a lot better because sometimes I'll have clients come into my session and they'll be like, you don't understand, or you're
Mhm.
not gonna believe this or whatever. I don't really have to straight out tell my story, but I could put it in a way to say, you know what, I might not know what you're going through, or I do understand, right?
Mhm.
I'm trying to relate to giving them psychoeducation because sometimes without people perish for the lack of education, right? So with educating them on the different triggers that they're going through, what does that mean? And creating a more meaningful aspect for them to understand that this does not have to it your experience does not have to overwhelm you. It has happened, it's not still happening, so you don't have to dwell in it. You can use it to benefit others.
I agree with you, but I do feel personally, and this is my personal opinion, I feel that what you're doing and the type of experience that you have, and also in the beginning of this interview, you also shared how you have always been a servant leader. You have always have been volunteering, helping, and as you've been helping these youth and these teens and these young girls, you realized that you needed to do more. Now, just because you realized it, that don't mean you had to go do something about it. You could have kept doing whatever it is that you were doing because it was effective.
Right.
But the fact that you took it the next step to this step, it takes a special kind of person to see a problem, even though they're helping and making experiences and having results, but you knew that they needed more. So hearing those stories, they moved you to action. And so, uh, do you want to share anything about that? How it moved you to action?
Just as you said, wanting to do more. Just I wanted to volunteer more. I wanted to because of that also I decided to create my own private practice because I realized that in my community, being African Canadian, just being black, it's hard to go to therapy just because it's expensive. Like for me alone, I do therapy too in terms of for my own self, and I find it being expensive. So opening up a private practice to be able to meet the needs of my community, not only my community but other culture as well, it just makes provides a new avenue and it's more inclusive.
Yeah, I agree with you. The fact that you created your private practice, which is not an easy undertaking, and you're American and Canadian, so the fact that you and you're right, with our culture being African American, Black, or however ones want to identify in this age and time, whatever you feel more comfortable with, people of color,
Yeah.
you know, and so it has been a hard undertaking for us to be able to have this conversation because for centuries we have been sweeping our feelings up under the rug. We have been taught to just take it and just move on and get over it. That's a popular phrase. You just need to get over it. Well, sometimes you can't just get over it. You need someone to help you. And so, individuals like you who advocate for mental health awareness and also have the resources makes it a win for win situation. So my question to you is that you're in Canada. I'm in
Mhm.
the United States. Some of our viewers, even though we have a global audience, but some of our audience is not in Canada. They're not they're over here in the United States or in other parts of the country. Do you offer virtual assistance? And if so, how can they get in contact with you?
Well, I do. I offer virtual, whether it be on Zoom or any um, platform of that sort, and I offer phone counseling as well. So everybody has WhatsApp. So if you're on phone, you go through WhatsApp, or you can just do a straight call. But I do offer virtual counseling, and you can just check out my website at www.samanthacampbell.org, and or just type in Creating Meaningful Counseling Services, and you will be able to see the different services that I offer. And it doesn't matter wherever you are in the world, you can connect. And it doesn't matter your your culture, you can connect. So that's the services that I offer. So I definitely encourage persons to just reach out, and don't be afraid. Um, it will be worth it.
I thank you for that. And you guys, for those of you who are watching in either on the TV side, online side, social media side, you can actually see her website right now. For those of you who will be listening in on the podcast or the radio later on, that website is samanthacampbell.org. That is samanthacampbell.org, where you can actually see the services that she actually provides, as well as her areas of therapy. She also has resources. You can book her straight from the website. And also, she has a very effective blog to also help you on your mental health wellness journey. So make sure to go check that out. Um, with all that being said, you are a volunteer that saw that there was a need for more work to be done. So you took it up with your bootstraps and said, I'm going back to school and I'm going to become a psychotherapist. And now you're a registered psychotherapist. Next, you decided that you're going to start you're going to have your own practice and provide these services, and you're doing it in a unique way where they can also contact you via phone, also via connectability with Zoom or however it is that you guys decide to connect, which is very much needed, which means that you're global. Anybody can contact you, which is a plus. And then lastly, you would think that your table was full, but you decided not to do one, but two books. So let's talk a little bit about your book. And one book is very, very special because you co-authored that book with your husband. So let's talk about that book, and why did you decide to co-author a book with your husband?
Ah, that was an interesting journey. Because my husband told me, "Oh, you write so much. I think you should become an author." I'm like, I don't know about that. And he's like, "Okay, let's write a book together." I'm like, "You'll be writing that book by yourself." Until he started writing and writing, and then I'm like, "Oh, this guy is serious." And then I'm like, I can't just let him write by himself. So I collaborated with him, and we just put our heads together and saw the need once again to just be able to tell each other's story and be able to just inspire others. So that's where that came from. Just because he saw the potential in me, and then he brought it right out, and then from then it led to my second book, just wanting to just, yeah, there it is, our life's journey, and the past, the present, and the future. We explore different topics of marriage. There's a section for youth, there's a section on prayer, there's poetry, there's a little bit of everything for everybody, so the littlest of a child can read it, because it's
Beautiful.
just so inspiring.
And this is your second book.
Yes, so that's my second book. I was just inspired because I'm like, we talk about mental illness so many times, but nobody really define what is it and what are the different struggles, and it has a twist to it too. Like it has different resources in terms of like self-care. At each chapter it has, I don't want to give it away, but at each,
Don't give it away.
yeah, there's, you have to go pick up the book because
Yeah.
there's so many different resources and self-care tips that you can really use. So it's not just about reading, it's about engaging and being practical in recovering, or just refreshing, refocusing, right? So yeah, that's me.
Okay, so for the ones that's listening in, let me go ahead and say this title out loud because our viewing audience on television and online and social media, they have the privilege to see it, but for our listening audience, they only know if we tell them. So we've been talking about this book. Samantha been sharing the experiences about these books, but what the title is for all our listening people, the title is Our Life's Journey, and this is the book for the past, the present, and the future, written by her husband and herself, sharing their experiences. And I feel that this will be a great book for you to add to your library. And then next, we also have Samantha's book, Samantha Campbell's book, Tell Your Negative Thoughts Not Now, Lessons for the Mind. So make sure to go pick that up at Amazon.com or go visit SamanthaCampbell.org. That is SamanthaCampbell.org. So, Samantha, with everything that you have been doing, you're an author, you're a psychotherapist, you like a psychotherapist that love to sing, draw, and color. You are also an African American that lives in Canada, so you're very diverse. So what's the correct terminology? Afro-Canadian? I don't even know what the correct terminology is for that.
Close to it, but there's, it keeps on changing, so we'll just stick with African. Yeah.
Because it always changing for us. The name change.
Yeah.
I mean, they get ready to change it. What, we not gonna be African Americans anymore? That's what I heard. Is they're gonna call us something else? I'm like, what? We just got used to African American. Like, really? Can we just stay one name?
Right. That's why you have to stay true to yourself.
Exactly. I agree. And they can actually get in contact with you for your services and also visit your website at SamanthaCampbell.org. I want to thank you so much for coming on today's show, sharing your experiences, and also allowing us to have a glimpse into the window of your life and how you're using your experience, your purpose, to inspire and help other people. And your way of psychotherapy, I still say, is very unique because you are addressing how it feels. Many people talk about mental illness and being a mental health advocate. That may possibly be a therapist. However, I like your unique way of delivering the information because you experience this and it makes it a little bit different, and that you explain the feelings of how you felt, and maybe within your description of how you felt, or the way that we described it today, how I felt, that someone can say, hey, I'm experiencing that. Maybe I need to give you a call. Oh, yeah, you do. Okay. Okay. So before we go, I do want all of you guys to make sure to go follow her on social media. So you can go and follow Samantha on Instagram. That's www.instagram.com/Sam_CMCS/. You can also follow her on Facebook, Creating Meaningful Consulting on Facebook. You can also visit her YouTube page on Samantha Campbell on YouTube. And let's see what else. You can also visit her on LinkedIn. That is Samantha Campbell, BAMACP. Just look up Samantha Campbell. She'll pop up there. and be able to connect with her and her information. Also, I want to show you a little bit of her YouTube channel real time so that you can see some of the information that she actually has offered for you guys, because she is just not a woman who does the work. She also provides so many different resources for you. So I want you to make sure that you go and subscribe to her YouTube channel, Creating Meaningful Consulting Services, where she's giving you life tips and motivation and educational content that you will be able to enjoy and be able to take advantage of. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go on over to Samantha Campbell on YouTube. Here it is right there on the screen. So Samantha, is there anything else that you would like to share with our audience?
Well, just don't be scared to go to therapy. It's you have to be able to listen to yourself, listen to your mind, listen to your body, and it will tell you. Just like how you go to the hospital for treatment for your foot if you have an injury, or just like how you might take Tylenol or Advil for a headache, why not examine your mental health, right? It's just the same. We have no health without mental health, and we are all one. We have one body, and it all functions all together. So, don't be scared. You'll thank yourself. Really thank yourself for it.
I 1000% agree with you. And I'm so glad that day my husband challenged me and said, you going, we're not leaving. That was one of the best decisions that I ever made when I decided to drop the fear and drop the preconceived notions that I had about therapy and actually went in. I have found that when you take care of your mental health first, your body falls into place. Mm-hmm. A lot of our illnesses that we have from a physical standpoint with our body, all these illnesses that we incur over time, is because, in my opinion, it manifests in the head first because we're stressed all the time. Yeah. And that stress can cause heart problems. It can cause blood pressure problems. It can cause all these different things. And so we need to put emphasis on the neck up. For centuries, we have been paying attention to the neck down, but the source is the brain, your mind. Don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. I went and I'm still going.
Yeah.
And yes, it's an investment that is worth having, because it's nothing like a peace of mind. Nothing like a peace of mind. So Samantha, thank you for what you do. Thank you for the way that you decided to, I would say, eradicate the stigma surrounding around mental illness. Thank you for being brave enough to share your own story. And I just love the fact that you and your husband came together to write a book together. Now that is unique, and you guys sharing your story. So make sure you guys pick that up from Amazon.com. Let me flash it one more time so that everybody can see it. Samantha Campbell, Tell Your Negative Thoughts Not Now. That sounds like a TV show in the making. Is our life's journey. So thank you so much for coming on today. And as always, you guys, for all the people who's listening and looking in right now, I know that it's not always easy, but if no one told you today that you're worthy, that you're special, and that you're needed, I want you to know that you are. And I want you to know, if anyone didn't tell you that they love you today, I want you to know that I love you. And until next time, I want you to do what? Keep smiling. I'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place on the Tina Ramsay Show. Thank you so much for being a part of our family, our lovelies. See you next week. Bye.
Are you ready to skyrocket your podcasting journey? Look no further than The Power of Podcasting by Dr. Tina J. Ramsay. This book is not just any ordinary guide. It's a game changer that offers insider strategies, captivating content creation tips, proven techniques, and monetization secrets. But that's not all. When you purchase The Power of Podcasting, you also receive a complimentary bonus, Dr. Ramsay's sought-after podcast 30-video course valued at $999, absolutely free. It's no wonder this book is a #1 bestseller on Amazon and has been rated one of the top 10 best new podcasting books to read by Book Authority. Dr. Ramsay's expertise and practical advice have earned her acclaim in the industry. So, what are you waiting for? Take the leap and unlock your podcasting success today. Grab your copy of The Power of Podcasting, Unlocking Tips and Strategies for Podcast Success by Dr. Tina J. Ramsay on Amazon, or visit their website at ctrmedianetwork.com. A link will be provided in this episode's description. Your podcasting journey starts here.
Well, you have any closing remarks before we head out?
Y'all, please support the movement of CTR Media Network. I'm telling you, being a part of this amazing media family, I can't go wrong, right? They have the support. They support us in all that we do. When we have questions, they take the time out to advise and mentor. So definitely check out the different plethora of shows that are on the network. I promise you, and I'm not saying this because I'm part of the family, but I promise you, you will be uplifted, inspired, educated, motivated, all the good stuff that we all need to carry ourselves out through the day. So definitely go check it out, y'all.
Awesome. I definitely appreciate you.